Finland, of all countries, is kicking off the new year by launching a new social experiment. Some 2,000 unemployed citizens chosen at random will get a guaranteed monthly income of $587, whether they work or not. Sounds like a socialist dream, doesn't it? But a lot of economists actually think this could be a good idea, saying it will cut down on government red tape and welfare fraud while helping to combat poverty. So, is it a great idea, or is it just Finnish financial folly? Not easy to say. Joining me now is Dan Mitchell from the Cato Institute. Dan, okay, it seems very radical, but there are those out there that say, you know what, this may have merit. What do you say?
Well, the meritorious part of it is that the current welfare system in most countries traps people in poverty. It says, okay, we're going to give you health benefits and housing benefits and food benefits and income benefits, but you can't work. And if you start to work, we'll start taking all those goodies away from you. And so people get a clear message. The more I work, the less I get, and it traps them in poverty and is bad for the economy. So that's one of the reasons a lot of people are looking at this idea and they're intrigued. But here's the downside. What if there are people who are working and there's this guaranteed income plan for the entire country, and some people working say, hey, I'd rather just sit at home all day and watch game shows and collect this check from the government.
Yeah.
So it's actually going to be very interesting to see what happens in Finland. I'm glad they're doing the experiment. I'm personally skeptical about whether it'll work, but my mind is open. If they actually find out that more people will decide to work because of this, then that's great to learn.
It does come down to the individual, doesn't it? Because, you know, the argument here that they're giving is, well, it offers workers greater security and it allows those who are jobless to pick up other odd jobs without losing the benefits. They'll get this tax-free $587 a month. They also say with high-tech kicking in, a lot of people are out of work. High-tech jobs or technology itself is making a number of occupations, well, they're just losing jobs because a machine can do a better job than a human. So from that point of view, from a social point of view, it could work, wouldn't you not say?
Well, there are these people who think that there are going to be no jobs in the future because of automation.
Right.
But I wonder whether those are the same people who said, oh, my goodness, we're losing all these agricultural jobs. What will we do? And then maybe 40 years ago, they were saying, oh, we're losing these manufacturing jobs. I think the private sector will surprise us by showing plenty of innovation and creating lots of jobs. And I think perhaps that's a reason why Switzerland, when they had a national referendum on a guaranteed income, they voted against it in a 78% landslide. Every single canton in the country, even the French-speaking ones, said no.
Well, the Scandinavian countries in particular, they pay a really high price in tax, but they also get an awful lot from their government. And maybe, depending on where it is in the world, maybe Finland looks at this and say, hey, what a great idea. But in a country like the United States or Western Europe, this just wouldn't fly.
Well, the Nordic countries do have very high, what sometimes is called cultural capital, social capital. There's still a good work ethic there, surprisingly, even though they have these very high taxes and very generous welfare programs. And so when Finland does this experiment, which, again, I love the idea that they're experimenting and we're going to learn something, we then have to be cautious. Okay, whatever they learn, will it apply in a country with a different culture?
That's a very good point. We're out of time. Dan Mitchell from the Cato Institute. Thanks, Dan. We really appreciate it.